In this video, we're going to talk about how to run a political campaign. Truthfully, it is easy as 1, 2, 3 if you properly plan it and get your ducks in a row before it kicks off. I'm going to make it easy for you to understand. I'm going to make it very simple. And stick with me to the end of this video because I got a free gift for you. Basically, it comes down to this. How do you find volunteers in a strong network of stout supporters? How do you craft a compelling campaign message? How do you advertise that message? How do you raise the money to pay for that message? We're going to cover all of those in this video. And I'm going to start with something that perhaps is the most important aspect of doing a campaign. I'm going to start with this basic truth. You are a campaign's most valuable asset. You cannot do it all. You cannot manage your own campaign and be a good candidate. You do have to learn to delegate. Now, here's a simple truth about the things that only you can do. Only you can go to that press conference as a candidate. Only you can give the speech at a public forum where all candidates are invited. Only you are going to be allowed on the debate stage with your opponent. Only you can do the TV or radio or newspaper interviews that reporters will be asking for. You have to do that job well. And in a competitive campaign, that is a full-time job. So learn to delegate. If you catch yourself doing something that someone else can do, ask yourself why you're doing it instead of that other person. Let's talk about volunteers and a stout network of supporters. Where do you find volunteers? Well, let's start with the people you know, your family, your friends, your relatives, the people who know you and like you. Where do you find those people? Well, take out your phone and start looking at your contact list. Go to your Facebook page and look at the friends that you have accumulated through the years. The other day I checked mine and there were close to 5,000 people there. A lot of people that I'd forgotten that I knew. Go take a look at your LinkedIn account. We tend to make a lot of connections through the years, and you're going to find people on there who may be able to give you money or might be willing to help you in your political campaign. Now, the second thing is there are a group of people who care passionately about the office that you're running for. They could be leaders of the political party that you belong to. They could be office holders in your community that also belong to that political party. And if you're running for office, you may be sharing the ballot with them and they're going to have an interest in you and what you stand for. But here's the thing, they've already gone through this and they may know people who can also help you delegate those tasks that you don't have time to do yourself. There are what we call special interest groups that are very active in political campaigns because they have an interest and a stake in the decisions that that office holder makes. And sometimes they weigh in with money and volunteers when candidates are running for that office. Have you gone and circulated among the community and civic leaders in your community? Because some of them may be very influential. The lawyer that everybody knows in town, the head of the Chamber of Commerce, the bankers, the heads of civic and community organizations that have an interest in who holds what office. In your community, there may also be important ethnic groups who have leaders that need to be courted. All of this is a way of saying that is, if you circulate with these people, if you ask, if you court, if you spend the time to develop this, you'll have both a network of your friends and you will have a network of influential people who can help you get the job done. The third thing I'm going to mention is it's incumbent upon you to study your jurisdiction so that you can kind of figure out your strategy. What are the past turnout patterns in your jurisdiction? How many people do you expect to vote? What is the partisan affiliation in your jurisdiction? The number of Democrats, the number of Republicans, the number of people who are not enrolled in either party? What is the demographic profile of your jurisdiction? Age, income, race, ethnicity, the education level. If you can get it, study their hobbies and consumer buying habits and their magazine subscriptions. If you don't know this information, you will get your clock cleaned and you'll lose the opportunity to do some niche marketing that is a good way to run a political campaign. And I suggest that if you do not have access to that or would like to know, put it in the comments section of this video and I'll see if I can find some way to help you get it. I'm going to touch upon your campaign message in this video, but I'm also going to put in the link below this video a longer video about how to do that. But here are the basics. There are 5 questions that voters are going to have for you during the course of a campaign. What makes you qualified? What can you tell me that lets voters know that your values are in sync with mine? What are you going to do for me? What problem are you going to solve? What policy are you going to advance that will make a difference in my quality of life? What story can you tell me that lets me know that I can trust you when I'm not watching? Finally, what makes you better than your opponent? During the course of a campaign, that's what we call the cake that is a campaign message, and all 5 of those ingredients are required for you to have a good one. Take a look at that link in this description and you get a longer discourse on how to develop your message. I'm also going to mention advertising and fundraising, because in a large jurisdiction with lots of households, it's impossible to go knock on every one. Ideally, you would. Ideally, you'll have volunteers going and do that. But you know, when somebody can only hit 20 doors an hour and you've got 30,000 households in your jurisdiction, that's a lot of volunteer work to line up. So you may have to do some advertising. Social media is a great way to post and disseminate your message. YouTube and Facebook allow you to advertise to certain demographic groups or even individual voters. There's what we call digital advertising. This week we placed ads on a local weather channel, digital ads that show up every time people in that community check the weather or the news in that morning. That's digital advertising. There is also direct mail, or what we call persuasion mail in this business. There are certain forms of television that can be very useful depending on the size and the nature of your jurisdiction. They are OTT, they are CTV, there is cable television, and there is commercial television. All of these go into your advertising mix, and I'm not saying you need to do all of them, but you're going to need to do some of them. And your bottom line question here is, what is the most efficient and cheapest way for me to reach the people that I want to vote for me? Finally, I'm going to mention fundraising here because it's important. No ticky, no washy. Advertising costs money, and nobody's going to run your ads for free. They're not even allowed to. So you do have to come up at some point with a fundraising plan. Now, there are 7 ways to raise money, and I'll just run through a few of them here. 1, you're allowed to ask for it in most races. 2, you can ask friends to raise money on your behalf. 3, there is what we call direct mail, sending letters to people, asking them to contribute to your campaign and telling them why that it's important. There is what we call cocktail parties. These are organized events where a friend of yours invites 25 people that they know to give $25 to come to a cocktail party and for you to spend a couple of hours talking with them. There are dinner parties, which are kind of higher end affairs, what we call celebrity events. If you know a celebrity or a famous author or a famous athlete or someone prominent in your community, invite them to your celebrity event, feature them as your guest of honor, and sell tickets to the event. You'd be surprised how well that works sometimes. This is how you run a political campaign. Oh, and in the description below this video, you're going to find a special video, how to create a campaign message. Take a look at it because you'll find it very, very helpful.